Yo, what's good everybody? Hope you guys are having a great mother trucking day. Today, we got some pretty good news because our connector finally came in. If you guys recall from the last video that I showed you guys, the wheel speed sensor, right rear wheel speed sensor on the Tacoma was actually cut off. So I don't know if the camera's gonna focus. This is the wheel speed connector and it got cut. So I went on eBay Motors and actually ordered this connector, in which what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically connect it to the old harness. This cost maybe like, I think it was like 15 bucks. So this was definitely like the most cost-effective way to repair this, because the actual whole harness was like 150 bucks and the sensor with the harness and everything was another like $60-70. So definitely save myself a couple like 80-90 bucks by just getting this connector and using my knowledge in connectors, how to splice and testing and all that stuff. We're gonna show you guys an effective way to save some cash when you're doing this. So this is mostly applicable for anything that requires stuff like this, and the way that we're gonna go about it is actually utilizing these little connectors here. So I don't know if you can zoom in. Butt connectors, I don't know what these are, to be crimps, and I'm gonna use 2 of these, and I'm gonna basically crimp to the other side of the connection. I have to make sure that, you know, these colors are gonna line up with what these are gonna be. So right now I'm just gonna do the preliminary setting stuff, and then because this connector is actually gonna be outside, I actually have to make it watertight. So in order to do that, that's why you can see the heat shrink going on. So these connectors have like a plastic filling inside that it's like a resin, yeah, it is like an epoxy. So once it reaches like a certain temperature, it like releases this like liquid inside, which basically water seals it. Both the heat shrink and these are actually I think it's IP8 certified. I'm not worried at all for water in these, but just want to be extra safe. So I have two contingencies on this. So stay tuned as we start progressing into getting this repaired. All right, so to even start, I want to set this cable up first before anything. And before so, I want to basically come up with a game plan. So I know that my crimps, the heat shrink that I want to fit on here, I want it to be able to fit through here. So I can, again, like how I was mentioning earlier, create 2 forms of like sealing. Okay, so this is the 1/4 diameter. Yeah, so we're gonna have 2 sizes, the 1/8 on both sides. We can have that, and then this bigger one is what's gonna come up, and then this top one is gonna be like this. The goal is to seal. I could have done also a splice, just splice them, boom, and just put this over, seal it. That's another way, but due to, I guess, where these are actually gonna be on the car, they may be introduced to a lot of vibration, and splicing doesn't, like the solder joints don't necessarily make a good like connection after constant like vibration cycles. So I opted to using one of these. These are mechanical lock. So we're gonna have them a little bit offset. You see how they're slightly offset by maybe like an inch. So now when I put these, you know, the objective of this is so they're not, when I add the other shrink tape, whatever, it's not like they're not it's not creating like a big bulk. So we're gonna do our first connection, green connector. So now we already have first one in, right? And then we're gonna seal it, we're gonna test it, and then once we have that done, then we're gonna go outside and actually connect it to the car. So, and there is my first mechanical lock right there. With the crimping tool, I use the red tool on it, and then we're just gonna do it one more time. So after I basically prepare this this part of the harness, now we have this completely ready to be installed. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna go outside. Hopefully it's not too dark to set this up. And ideally what we're gonna do is, again, we're aiming to prep the wire, you know, so it's kind of like this. And then we're gonna use a heat gun to shrink it. And then we're gonna use a heat shrink to shrink the wire so it's really tight on here, so it doesn't allow for any water seepage anywhere or any contact. And then we got this bigger heat shrink on top, so we can like completely seal it off. So that's our strategy, and we're right now gonna do that. Alrighty guys, for those of you guys who haven't seen it yet, but the issue that we are fixing is this right here. As you guys can see, it's cut. We're gonna fix that right now. So we're gonna remove the old stuff, and I'm looking for a little tool that I carry in my fanny pack that never lets me down. My Swiss. I removed this piece of segment wire. It has some insulation, as you guys can see on the inside. Currently, this is what it looks like. It's a little bit, we're gonna peel back the insulation. This is currently our setup. Green is white and blue is yellow. This is the final product. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, I'm gonna take it down. Dang, it kind of sucks because I was really hoping it recorded, but honestly, it's really looking like it didn't record. So sorry for that. So I connected the yellow to blue and green to white, and then we added three different layers of shrink wrap to like lower the diameter stuff. And then right here, like what I mentioned earlier, the shrink wrap that I had, and right here are actually the butt connectors. So it's a little thick on the thicker side, but I think it should work. So yeah, pretty excited. Right now we're gonna test it out. Hopefully everything works. We're gonna tighten this up real quick, and that should be it for the rest of this Tacoma. So I'm gonna get out of here now, and we're gonna show you guys in front. We're gonna give it a crank. We're gonna connect the battery real quick. Oh, this hood is heavy. Holy crap. Oh, hang on. Okay. All right, guys, so we just cranked it right now, and good news is, look, no more lights, no more Christmas tree, which means successfully fixed the Tacoma. We are completely finished in terms of anything going on with like the drive, like the actual functionability of the truck. So the only thing left for my dad to be able to drive this on the street is to actually get it registered. This is really good, a lot of great progress, and it's really freaking exciting, to be honest. The connection that I did worked, everything came out good. Yeah, happy camper over here. Yeah, pretty exciting that we got it all fixed. So we just, the remaining things that need to be done for this truck is an alignment, because as you guys can see, the steering wheel is pretty bad. Everything else is on point. We did all the airbags already, no airbag light, nothing, like everything works as it should. We got our lockers here for off-roading, in which in a later video we're gonna take it on to the mountains to see how this thing performs. I've never driven a 4x4. Pretty freaking excited to take this car out for a spin. Hope you guys learned a little bit. Hopefully the camera didn't die at the wrong time. La pago? La pago? Truck is good to go. And we're gonna disconnect the battery just so it doesn't drain.
I've seen enough things to lose hope, and here I am still going. I am even stronger now. Evil is lurking around you, and maybe I'm mistaken. You know I'm feeling right. Like something on my face, something in my veins. Still hurts. And I don't know what it takes, don't know what it takes to move on. The more that I've done, the less I become. I just live forever within our souls. So do if I know, and life will go on, and then we'll become just nothing at all. Just nothing, just nothing, just nothing, just nothing at all, nothing at all.
And just like that, everyone, we have officially finished the Tacoma. Thankfully, we were able to register the car yesterday. This video is coming out for the second week of April. We finally completed everything on the Tacoma. If you guys didn't have a chance to look through everything, here's a quick recap if you didn't see in the final reveal. But we purchased a Tacoma back in September of 2024. I thought was a pretty solid deal. Here was the catch. The car was flipped, its airbags blew out. It had a bent knuckle on the front passenger side. So throughout my whole series, the Tacoma series, I tried my best to film everything that we were doing to it, from the suspension upgrades, no, not really upgrades, but changes. You know, we changed the knuckles, the upper and lower control arms. Like I mentioned in the video, we only need an alignment to be done, in which we're gonna do before we take it out on a special maiden voyage into, I have no idea where. I have to decide where my father wants to go. It's a 2023 Toyota Tacoma, fixed up from airbags, ABS systems, SRS systems, engine, transmission, everything. Two cosmetics, in which you saw in that video, you know, the car was flipped, rolled over. It was damaged pretty crazy, but a rule of thumb that I've always learned when purchasing cars like this, the chassis always needs to be straight. So do your due diligence and inspect cars before purchasing them. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I'm super excited to finally be able to give this car to my dad. Yes, if you guys haven't had a chance to watch the video when they actually, well, my parents actually decided to come early from Salvador, and he actually caught me as I was working on it. So unfortunately, it wasn't too much of a surprise to my father, but it was a great experience just sharing that moment and doing car stuff with him. Yeah, he's never been interested in like my hobbies like that, but it feels great to finally give back to my dad. You know, like I mentioned earlier in previous videos, he gave up his truck. He had a Toyota pickup about like 30 years ago, and it feels good to finally pay that forward. So there's a lot of things that, you know, he wants to do for it, and we're gonna film it here on the video. I guess quick update. Yes, on the video, the reveal, we had to change the headlights because we weren't able to pass the inspection with them, so we just used our OEM stock ones. But we're not done. There's still a lot of things, like how I mentioned, there's still a lot of things to go for it. Like I know we're getting it prepared to go off-roading, so I'll just leave it at that. You know, it can be a lot of things being added to it, but I'm really excited to, you know, have this car finally ready, functional, and just have another car to the squad. I still don't know what my father wants to name this car, to be honest, but once he decides on a name, we'll let you guys know. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this week's video and to this series, the Tacoma build series. I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, before we end off today, I wanted to read a quick quote from my faith jar. So today's quote is, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time on next week's video, because we got a lot going on. And we have another project coming, so stay tuned and never stop.